This is round 10 of the Great American Stampin Show, the show where 4 stampers go head to head. We've all used the same stamp set, Modern Garden, and created our best project for you today. I'm Brandy Barnard from brandystamps.com. I hope you're going to love my project best. If you do, just give it a like or a thumbs up. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to my email list. I am right now sending the 12 weeks of Christmas tutorials to everybody who's on my email list. We've just done week 5, so there are still a bunch more fun projects to come. The link to sign up for that is right in my description. Make sure you check out all 3 of my competitors' videos as well. Their links are in my description too. And come back and vote for whichever video you think was best. Let's get started. The stamp set we've been assigned today is called Modern Garden. This one is located in the current mini catalog from Stampin Up. Just a really cool floral set. You get a lot of different kind of whimsical flower pieces with a lot of character to them. A real variety of different greetings here, including a Christmas one. I have Christmas cards on the brain right now, so that's what I did. And you can purchase this stamp set in a bundle with the coordinating punch, this cool oval label punch, and you can get that at a bundle price where it's a discount to get those together. So I'm going to use that on my project as well. I found that this stamp set worked better if I used the Stampin' Piercing mat underneath it. This is just a hard foam mat, and they actually recommend that you use all photopolymer stamp sets with this mat. I honestly don't usually do that, but this time I did, because if you ever stamp your stamps and you get like a not filled in image or it's a little off, try it with this mat. That usually does fix it if you've got a problem going. So I'm starting with a thick Whisper White card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. I did score it at 5 1/2. And when I'm doing Christmas cards, I really want them to be kind of simple so that I will be able to mass produce. And so I'm going to stamp directly on to this sheet of paper here, my card base. So I'm starting with my Cherry Cobbler ink and this cool pointed flower, which once you stamp it up in red and do it right, it's going to look very much like a poinsettia. So I'm just going to drop a few of this flower here on my card front. Okay, and while I was doing that, I twisted the flower back and forth so that they weren't all sitting the same direction. That gives a little more variety to your stamping. So now I'm going to pull in just a really small basic leaf that's there in the stamp set and my shaded spruce ink pad. And I'm just going to stamp these leaves 2 times so I get some darker and some lighter ones. See, I can even go to my grid sheet and stamp off just to get one light one. There's also this cool flower centerpiece. It's just got like a little mass of dots kind of, and I'm using that with my Daffodil Delight ink and just dropping those in our flower centers. They kind of have those little pocket of pollen look here. I'm going to a sheet of shaded spruce cardstock now because it coordinates with the ink that I used here. I'm just going to punch out that nice oval shape. That's the Modern Oval Punch. Here's just a scrap of white cardstock, and I'm pulling out my shaded spruce ink pad again. And there's just the one Christmas greeting. It says, "Wishing you the warm blessings of Christmas." Get a nice dark image of that. And then while I've got this out, I'll do a little bit of stamping on my little tag too. I want these to be pretty light, so I'll just stamp off and throw a few of these little, it almost has the look of a sparkle, or you could use the same stamp to give detail to a flower. Let's hop over here while those dry a little bit And I'm going to use a strip of the more Dazzle paper. This just comes in a 6x6 pack and you get silver and gold. This is a really beautiful paper that almost has like sequins embedded in it. It's really nice. And because they have this little circular pattern, I don't know if you can see that well, they match the little pattern that we have placed in the centers of these flowers. So these images end up really looking good together. So I'm going to roll some of my Seal Plus onto the back of this strip. And I'm going to use my grid sheet to help me get this straight. I'm going to go up by about 7 boxes. So that would be 1 3/4. So I'm lined up right here with this box and I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's right where I'll place the corner of my designer paper. And then I just line it up on the other side and make sure that I'm coming straight across to that same spot on the other side. That is a trick I do all the time to help me make sure that I am getting things straight. And now we can just open this up and paper snip the extra right off of here. I'm also going to add a snippet of this ribbon from the Real Red and Burlap Ribbon combo pack. This is in our main catalog. And I just want it to kind of be a little strip across right about here. So we can trim this, give it a little slant cut, see if we like that length. Yeah, that looks good. And then I know I'm going to put the tag over the top of this, so I'll use a couple of mini glue dots. These will create a little bump under the ribbon that does show. And so I'm keeping these toward the center. I put the 2 glue dots there so that they will both be hidden by my tag that I'm about to put down. Now I'm going to jump over to this greeting that we stamped and I'm going to cut the word Christmas. So just kind of do a really basic straight line along the word Christmas on both sides here. And I want these ends to slant similarly to how my ribbon did. So I'll cut that one and this one. And then this can get glued right here onto my little label. So I will use a couple of mini glue dots for that again. Just right off the roll, you can lay your piece of paper right to it so you never have to handle the mini glue dot. That makes them easier to use. And it keeps them stickier too. I want to make sure I get this nice and straight. So I'm using my grid paper to help me get a little bit of an indicator. Put it right there. So now it just says Christmas instead of all this wishing you the warm blessings. I'm going to cut out the word blessings. Whenever I'm using a new stamp set, I always check out the greetings that come with it and see if there's any way to rearrange them or say something different. I like to use them the way they come, and I also like to try to get creative too. So this is just small enough that I can use mini glue dots again. I will put one on each end. That'll help keep it sturdy and straight. And then I'll go ahead and glue this I'll let it sit on the end of my paper snips while I am placing this where I want it. So let's see, let's go in about this far, make sure it lines up. Now I can pull the paper snips out and press that into place. Anything like that that's too small to just be handling, then I'll use my paper snips to help me. Okay, let's attach this label to our card front and then we can add some little bling for ourselves. This is gluing down to ribbon and that sparkle paper, so I'm focusing my dimensionals on the top and the bottom where I feel like they will get a better connection with paper. I don't want the word Christmas to line up perfectly with the ribbon, so I'm purposely offsetting it from where the ribbon is. Make sure you like how it lands and then press it down firmly. And let's see, I went through all of my gems to see which ones I wanted to try, and I picked out these Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels, but then I also pulled out these loose holly gems and sequins that are in the current mini catalog. This has little music notes and holly leaves, but it also has these great little red gems. So I'll just pull out a couple of those. Take your pick tool to pick up a couple of these. And a nice little baby next to it. Do another one of the bigger ones down here. These little sequins do not have adhesive on the back, so I'm using a mini glue dot to help. The glue dot is bigger than the sequin, and so I am placing it on the back of there. I'm actually using my paper snips to cut it so I can use the other half for the other one. I guess all this time I've been following an unwritten rule where you just use the same gems on each project. I've never mixed and matched them like that, but I love how this turned out. This is really simple, easy to mass produce. You get the little strip of bling that coordinates your flowers in, but it's a little bit special too because you have the little details of the gems, the ribbon, and the pretty paper. But this is something you could make a whole bunch of all at once. Hope you love it. I had a great time stamping with you guys today. I hope you loved my Christmas card, just kind of simple and beautiful, something you can mass produce. If you loved my card most, give it a thumbs up or a like, and be sure to check out Julie, Jody, and Shannon's videos. Their links are all in my description, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks so much. Go subscribe so you don't miss anything.